Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us. Mosso at the1916company.com. It is in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please email us directly, Mosso at the1916company.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing an Oris for people who enjoy the finer things in life. This is the rarely seen Oris Aquis Date Diamonds. So it is a 41.5 millimeter steel Aquis featuring a bezel set with 48 Wesselton top-grade lab-grown diamonds. And you could see 1.3 carats all the way around, a beautiful symmetry in size, color, and clarity with still more ice on the dial. So how does it wear? How does it work? Let's talk about the size. 41.5 millimeters, 13 millimeters thick, and then you can see from lug tip to lug tip, 48 millimeters across the wrist. Out of the hand and onto the wrist, and you can see that the watch wears fairly compact. It's not as thick as you might think, but it does have a little bit of a cantilever to the bezel, so it could get hung up on a really tight cuff, but you probably shouldn't be wearing your shirts that tight anyway. In terms of its span across the wrist, this is definitely a men's watch. You could see the lugs are still inboard to the edge of my wrist, but I'd say you'd want a 14 centimeter circumference wrist or larger to wear this watch. So taking a quick look over the top, which always exaggerates the width of the watch, the lugs appear to be out to the edge, but when you turn a little bit and take a closer look, you can see they are not. My wrist, again, is 16 centimeters in circumference. The bracelet is sort of a quasi-integrated design. As you can see, it's clearly designed to work with this lug junction, and there is a screw and bar setup that's proprietary that holds them together. The bracelet then tapers down from the lugs, and you can see in profile it's all satinated, and from the top we have a combination of polish and satin. When viewed in profile, you can see screws are used to fix removable links, and we have an intermediate-sized link in there on each side. In case you find yourself in between link sizes, you can use the intermediate to fine-tune. We already have a set of divots inside the clasp, so if you need to move the anchoring point of the bracelet to fine-tune the fit, you can do that with your strap tool. And then there is a fold-out dive extension for easier use over a wetsuit, a dry suit, or even just a thick winter sweater or coat. The clasp is high-grade and thick-gauge steel. You can see it's a single swing arm deployant, and it has twin trigger release, so you have to press both triggers to pop this open. I do like the fact that the removable links are fixed by screws. That's really an asset on a watch from a mid-market luxury contender like Oris. No pin sleeves here, as I like to say. The bezel, which appears at first glance like it might move, does not. So while it has a knurling outboard like a dive bezel, it is assuredly not one. We do get those top Wesselton diamonds, though, and they're a beautiful ring of shimmery, shining spectacle over a dial that I would describe as opulent, bottomless burgundy. Oris describes it as red, but it is a gloss lacquer that does have a lovely mirrored quality to it, more complexity than I think red fully conveys. It's really like a really dark, deep wine. Taking a quick look at the dial, there are indices with diamonds attached, and then we have some luminescence, though not quite as much as you'd expect on a traditional Oris Aquis, but this is more of a luxury piece anyway. You do have all three hands luminescent. At the base of the dial, we have a date, and the watch includes two setting modes. The first, of course, is hacking or stop seconds, and then there is a quick set system, so you can rapidly cycle the date if you wish to do so. We're going to flip the watch to its reverse side, where we see what Oris calls caliber 733. I call it a Sellita SW201. This is Sellita's version of an ETA 2824, and it's a reliable and highly serviceable movement that gives you automatic winding, a 38-hour power reserve, stop seconds, the quick set date, a 4 Hz beat rate, 76 pivot joules, all from a single mainspring barrel. You can see it's relatively simple, but it's a tough workman-like movement. This watch is all about its dial, where you can see that the watch, which features a screw-down crown, also has a 300-meter water resistance. Taking a look in profile, you can see the case is rather distinctive compared to most mid-market divers. It has lugs that are broken out rather dramatically from the case band. The lug hoods, as well as the bezel edge, are polished. The crown is a combination of media blast and polish. And then we have two crown guard profiles that are actually fixed with screws, so theoretically they could be removed if the watch needed to be serviced and they were badly gouged. If you love this watch, reach out to us, Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing.